are yourself having in a triple whammy. On the one hand, current account deficit, on the other hand, fiscal deficit, and third, trade deficit. I don't know how you will be reconciling the fiscal deficit with the growth of the economy, as has been committed by this government. Second thing, supplementary demand for grants of this scale indicate a gross miscalculation on the part of the government on expected expenditure. It also undermines parliamentary control by going above and beyond what had initially been a sanction. Insofar as fertilizer is concerned, I have already indicated that the NPK ratio refers to the proportion of volume of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium in fertilizer. The ideal average NPK ratio is 4:2:1, but the ratio increased to 7.7:3.1:1 in 2021-22. The ratio was 6.8:2.7:1 during Kharif 21, which got further distorted to 12.8:5.1:1 during Kharif 2020. While farmers tend to use fertilizer in a balanced ratio, changes in prices due to policy changes end up upsetting the balance. So there may be the distortion of the balance that I have flagged your attention. Again, fertilizer shortages is concerned. Indian government insists that there is no fertilizer shortage in the country, but there is a sufficient stock to fulfill existing demand. Yet farmers across the country have been facing shortages of fertilizer for both Rabi and Kharif sowing seasons, including Rajasthan, Arjun Meghwal ji ki state hai, Himachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, Odisha, Tamil Nadu. The increase in fertilizer prices was partly responsible for 27% drop in paddy sowing during Kharif this year. The government is meanwhile on the path of disinvesting or shutting down early PSUs in fertilizer sector. On the other hand, the import of DAP and NPK complex fertilizer increased year on year by 45.2% and 76.1% respectively in April-October 2022. There is a slogan being propagated that one nation, one fertilizer, which was launched in September 2022. But that goes against that standing committee recommendation. The committee remarked that the farmer should have the choice to buy fertilizer from different brands. The only way to ensure efficient use of subsidy is by directing it to the farmer's account. However, under the One Nation, One Fertilizer scheme, all fertilizers are supposed to be sold under the Bharat brand name. This will lead to power margins for manufacturers and leave them with no incentive to increase production of quality fertilizers. In order to increase their brand loyalty, the manufacturers will now need to focus on marketing processes instead of focusing attention on upgrading systems. Now, another issue. No update to the list of beneficiaries under NFSA, National Food Security Act. Section 9 of the Central Food Security Act 2013 required that the list of beneficiaries be updated on the basis of the latest census data. With the delay in the 2021 census, the list of beneficiaries under the scheme is outdated by 11 years. If the list of beneficiaries were to be adjusted as per the directive of the Supreme Court, there would be an increase of 10 crore more beneficiaries under the scheme. So I think the government should take into account the concern of the people and also the observation made by the Supreme Court. Madam, what is very, intriguing to me and what is concerning to all sections of our population is that the Reserve Bank of India increased the repo rate for the 5th time in financial year 23 in an attempt to tackle inflation. Always to tackle inflation, you are resorting to increasing the repo rate. Why? Why this kind of mechanism being adopted by you? On December 7th, 2022, the RBI increases monetary repo rate to 6.2%, a 35 basis point hike from 5.9%. The repo or policy rate is at its highest level since August 2018. The 6-member Monetary Policy Committee arrived at this conclusion after an assessment of the evolving macroeconomic situation unfolding in the country. In September 2020, the central bank had increased the repo rate by 50 basis points to 5.9%. मैं आप सदन के जो सत्ता पक्ष के एमपीज हैं, मैं उनको पूछना चाहते हैं कि रेपो रेट बढ़ाने के चलते क्या आम लोगों को परेशानियां बढ़ते हैं या कमते हैं? आप खुद बताओ। मैं बताना चाहते हैं, मैं विस्तार से नहीं जाना चाहते, मैं सिर्फ मोटे मोटे मुद्दे 4-5 मुद्दे रखना चाहते हैं कि it is impacted where this kind of increasing repo rate will have impacted. First impact on borrowers. Second impact on EMI. Impact on existing EMI. Impact on housing markets. Impact of rate hike on equity investors. Impact on mutual fund. इतने सारे इम्पैक्ट होने के बाद आपको क्या ये नहीं लगता कि हमारे ये जो रेपो रेट इस तरीके से धड़ल्ले से वृद्धि किया जा रहे हैं, इसका बुरी असर हमारे इकोनॉमी में होगी? हम लोग यहाँ परेशानी को झेलना पड़ेगा, तो हमारे अर्थनीति का क्या मूल्य रहते हैं? आप जाओ मिडिल क्लास, लोअर मिडिल क्लास, जिसके पास जाओ, छोटे मध्यम लघु उद्यमी जिसके पास जाओ, ये रेपो रेट के चलते इनकी आर्थिक तंगी बढ़ रहे हैं। मैं आप सर्वे करके देखो, मेरे बात पे भरोसा ना करके आप सर्वे करके देखो। Sir, price of essential commodities have been constantly rising. Essential food items have been getting more expensive for a long time under this government. The main drivers of inflation have been prices of food, fuel, clothing, and education. I think in earlier occasion also, we have pointed out whether our economy has been undergoing stagflation. I think our economy is on the cusp of a stagflation. Economy is stagnant. Inflation has been growing. Unemployment is not visible. So certainly, we are witnessing the morass of financial plight of the entire country. Annual rate of wholesale inflation was at 12.41% in August 2022 and 10.7% in September 2022, compared to a 30-year high of 15.08% in April 2022. While this is maybe a relief to many, but states like Kerala are still reeling from the effects of price hikes. Retail inflation in India September 22 hit a 5-month high at 7.41%. The figure crossed the Reserve Bank of India's upper limit of 6% for the 9th month. Inflation in October 2020 still above RBI's limit of 6.77%. Headline inflation is forecasted to be 6.4% in 22-23, while the inflation rate has peaked. The Indian economy is expected to take 2 to 3 years to return to an inflation rate of 4%. This implies that the RBI will continue to maintain higher interest rates over the next 5 years, which are critical in kickstarting economic growth required to move away from the pandemic slump. Madam, already, media people have been highlighting that industrial output as measured by the Index of Industrial Production slumped to a 26-month low of -4% in October on the back of a contraction in manufacturing and consumer goods. NSO data, according to NSO data, it indicating weak exports and sluggish consumption demand alongside the continuing weakness of small and medium enterprises. We are eager to know as to why the central bank could not keep inflation within the targeted 6% upper limit for the 3 consecutive quarters. Madam, आज भी हम ये सुनने को मिला है कि हमारे चीन के साथ टकराव हो रहा है। मैं उस विषय पर जाना नहीं चाहते, सेंसिटिव मुद्दा नहीं जाना चाहते, मैं नहीं जाना चाहता। मैं सिर्फ ये कहना चाहते हैं हिंदुस्तान में 3,560 ऐसा कंपनी है जहां का डायरेक्टर चीनी कैसे हो सकता है?
अधिरंजन जी, चेयर को एड्रेस करो। आप चेयर को एड्रेस
नहीं,
चेयर को एड्रेस करो।
सर, मैं ये इस मुद्दे के अंदर नहीं जाना चाहते। मैं ये कहना चाहते कि 3,560 हिंदुस्तान की कंपनियों ने जहां चीनी डायरेक्टर कैसे बन गया, चीन का साथ हमारा ट्रेड किस तरह है, हमारा एक्सपोर्ट इंपोर्ट ट्रेड बैलेंस चीन के साथ किस स्तर पे है, मैडम थोड़ा सदन को जानकारी दिया करो। मैं और भी एक बात करना कि इत्तेफाक से इस साल नोटबंदी की 6ठी साल हो रहे हैं। नोटबंदी की 6ठी साल, ये डिमोनेटाइजेशन कहूं या डिमोनाइजेशन ऑफ इकोनॉमी कहूं, ये मुझे सोचना पड़ेगा। डिमोनाइजेशन और डिमोनेटाइजेशन क्या है? ये 2016 में 8 November at 8 PM a organized loot of this country took place. Cash in circulation at that time was 7.6 lakh crore. Now it has been increased to 30.88 lakh crore. That means 72% high. Whether it was committed at that time that we are moving towards digital economy, black money will be wiped out, terrorists will be finished, and fake currency will have been done away with. My single query to you, whether the objectives of demonetization have been achieved or not. Because as per your RBI report, it is palpably clear that not a single objective, as was enunciated during the demonetization, has not been achieved so far. See, Swiss Bank in its report stated that in the last 14 years, हिंदुस्तान में सबसे ज्यादा स्विस बैंक में हिंदुस्तानी के लोगों को पैसा जमा किया है. इसका कितना राशि? 30,500 करोड़. आप कहते हैं कि भ्रष्टाचार को दूरीकरण करने के लिए डिमोनेटाइजेशन की जरूरत थी. ठीक है. ये करप्शन इंडेक्स क्या है हिंदुस्तान की? 79 थे, अभी 85 चले गए. ये हमारी नहीं, ट्रांसपेरेंसी इंटरनेशनल की रिपोर्ट है. फेक करेंसी, और सुन लीजिए, फेक करेंसी 500 डिनोमिनेशन की जो फेक करेंसी 102%.
216.
Yes, please wait.
216 कहता है कि the debate on the supplementary grants shall be confined to the items constituting the same, and no discussion may be raised on the original grants nor policy underlying them, save in so far as it may be necessary to explain or illustrate the particular items under discussion. ये डीमोनेटाइजेशन जो है, ये सप्लीमेंट्री डिमांड्स ऑफ ग्रांट्स में कहाँ है सर? कौन सा आइटम जो है डीमोनेटाइजेशन का है? आरबीआई पॉलिसी का कौन सा है सर? और दूसरा, उन्होंने अनपार्लियामेंट्री वर्ड जो यूज किया, डिमोनाइजेशन, राक्षसीकरण यदि हिंदी में कहें, राक्षस कहां से पार्लियामेंट्री शब्द हो गया सर? इसीलिए इनको रोकिए सर.
You please continue. There is nothing unparliamentary. I think. Wait. No. That I will examine. That word I will examine. That word I will examine. As far as Rule 216 is concerned, supplementary demands in respect of almost all the demands, all are either in one way or other way. It is connected with these demands. So that we will examine. That we will examine. Demonetization is also affecting the economy, the state of affairs of our economy. Definitely, this is a matter of. It is nothing out of the purview of the supplementary demands for grants. But as far as the other word, we will examine and.
It is under sub judice also.
No.
This मामला है उसको.
Yes, let us say.
Yes, not one. That is 352, sir.
Yes, almost all the issues which we are discussing, almost all the issues which.
Sir, they think that demonetization was demonization.
No, please.